civil society organization Active Citizens, led by Dennis Bloom and Ronnie McKenzie, has laid charges against Paul O'Sullivan following alleged threats to a parliamentary witness. The group says it was concerned and deeply disturbed to learn that O'Sullivan allegedly threatened Cedrick Nkabinde during his appearance before Parliament's ad hoc committee through a text message sent in the midst of proceedings. Active Citizens chairperson Ronnie McKenzie joins us now for more. Ronnie, you've gone to the police station and opened a case. What exactly is the charge there that, according to your case, that Paul O'Sullivan would be facing?
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to be speaking on this. There are various charges that Mr. O'Sullivan will be facing on this matter. We can no longer, as citizens of the country, just sit back and just allow ourselves to be like a banana republic. We are not a banana republic. The likes of Mr. O'Sullivan, he has really run this country amok for a very long time. It takes people like myself and many more others to stand up, like we've seen in July 6th, what General Mukwanazi has done and stood up to fight for his country. I'm a native of this country. The likes of Mr. O'Sullivan will be facing charges of contempt of Parliament, firstly. Secondly, intimidation to a witness, whom we expect to be hearing what it is that has been going on in our country. And above all, we tend to be looking at issues relating to defeating the ends of justice. And I'm sure there'd be many more other charges that would be laid against Mr. O'Sullivan.
Yeah. So witness intimidation and typically witness tampering is a charge that falls squarely in the process of criminal and civil prosecutions. Appearing before Parliament's ad hoc committee is not a court process, and therefore witness intimidation or witness tampering doesn't squarely fall there. What was the legal advice that you received and sought before trying to register these charges?
Look, I don't know why would we actually have to take it to such lengths. How serious do we take ourselves as a country? How serious do we take ourselves as citizens of this country? How far should this go until we stand up as citizens of this country? As you've seen that Mr. Cedrick Nkabinde had to stop proceedings and actually give a report of a message he received or he saw on his phone during his break. Yes. So let's just be a bit logical on matters and say, should we just sit back as citizens and just allow ourselves to say, there's a Paul O'Sullivan out there that is intimidating people, that does as he pleases. He's the highest authority in the Republic. He gets to say who it is that he gave affirmation should be hired, should be fired. Should we just sit back? Really, honestly, is this the type of people that we should be? Don't you think it's time that we stand up?
I want to read to you here, Ronnie, from the Powers, Privileges and Immunities of Parliament and Provincial Legislatures Act. And it reads as follows, in fact, very specifically in section 17.2a of that. It reads, a person who threatens or obstructs another person in respect of evidence to be given before a house or committee commits an offence and is liable to a fine, or very specifically, or imprisonment to a period not exceeding 2 years, or both the fine and imprisonment. Would that be a sufficient sanction for you, given the scale of the transgression you describe Paul O'Sullivan to have committed?
I wouldn't say it would be sufficient. I think there'd be many more others that would just come on top of that. Look, we are speaking about a very notorious person who seems to be feared in all sectors. And we cannot be allowing ourselves to be threatened by persons because they think they can just do as they please in the Republic of South Africa. It's time that we stand up as citizens of this country and really work towards building South Africa to being a great South Africa as it used to be.
Yeah, Ronnie,
This
I want
is
to ask you
where
this, and I ask this question with the utmost respect and sincerity that it could be asked with. We all watched the parliamentary proceedings that took place, and when the text message was sent, when Nkabinde read the message to the committee, and the resolve there by the committee, its chairperson, its members, was that they were going to deal with this matter, which presumably means that Parliament's procedures will kick into place, and that Paul O'Sullivan will appear. Naturally, if there is a transgression, as we are at least at a prima facie level able to say that there is, that Parliament would pursue him for that. We know that will be taken care of. Why did you yourself, as a civil society organization and former politicians, decide to take it upon yourself to lay charges? Did you see this as a moment to garner political points?
I'll say to you, it's not about political points, but I'll say to you, the ground is fertile. And I'd like to throw it back to you.
The ground is
and
fertile
ask
for?
you, did you think the ground is fertile at the moment, as you see, from all angles, citizens and some of the civil society members are beginning to actually come out to
But
fix
what is the ground
Republic of
fertile
South
for?
Africa.
What is it fertile for? For a political moment?
For change.
For change.
For
Okay.
change.
So you're using this as a springboard to a political moment?
Not necessarily for a political moment, but to fixing the country. This is where we are heading, and this is where we'd actually like to activate citizens to start coming out, whistleblowers not to fear coming out and actually tackling things for what they are. I'm sitting here with you tonight to give courage to the many out there, South Africans, that would like to come forward and call out things for what they are. This is where we at the moment, and yourselves as journalists, as news reporters and all, do coverage as best as possible for what is happening on the ground.
So
we
this
are
is
with
not
the national dialogue. We are with so many things that needs to happen. Parliament in the past has failed us, failed to hold accountability.
Just a yes or no question, because I'm out of time on this.
Enhance. We need to enhance Parliament to have courage to hold those that need to be accountable.
Yeah. So this is not a moment, and just a yes or no answer on this. This is not a moment where you and Dennis are hoping to be able to find enough sort of volume and airtime on it to launch a political party.
If that's the case, if that's not the case, that's irrespective. What we need to do is fix the Republic of South Africa.
Ronnie, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Ronnie McKenzie from Active Citizens.